Hey guys, so let's see if technology loves me today. I am up. Oh, it's 11:11 where I am. That makes me happy. Um, so for those of you who are new to me, I am Tessa Colvin. It's me. I'm a publishing consultant, and I am coming in here today because I promised I was coming in, and I wanted to make sure that I don't even know why I push buttons. Let me stop. Okay. Hey, Sharice. Hey, Norby. So here's the thing. Here's why you're stuck. That was the title. That's the title of the live. But what I want to do, I want to give people a chance to come in. So let me know you can hear me, you can see me, all that good stuff. Give me a wave, give me a hey. You know, I love a hey. I'm going to check and make sure that I am live the way I think I'm live. So I won't just be in here talking to myself. Um, So one of the things that I hear all the time, guys, is I'm stuck and I don't know what to write, right? I'm stuck and I don't know what to write. Those two statements are um, just synonymous with the person that's passionate about getting their book done. Um, and a lot of us are busy. A lot of us wear so many different hats. Like right now, I'm the puppy whisperer. I got my dogs. Yesterday, let's see, I was the chauffeur. I was the emergency pickup. I was the ATM. I was a business owner. I was a student because for those of you who don't know, I'm still in school. Um, and at some point, I had to be a human, meaning I had to eat, maybe drink a little water. So we go through all of these different hats in a day, and even though we have this desire, this pulling, this calling to write our books, there are these external factors that just pull us all over the place. Like I said, chauffeur. My plan, like I didn't even bring it in here. Every day I write a list of things I need to accomplish in a day. Some days it's 3 things, some days it's 10 things. It just depends on, priorities, things I need to do for my clients, right? And so yesterday I had a pretty extensive list, right? It was the day after client call day. So I'm like, I got some deliverables for my clients. I have some stuff I need to do for me. I have TV show stuff I need to do. I'm like, and what happened? I don't know why I thought I was just going to take my daughter to the orthodontist and then they were going to take her braces off and we'd be home and she would go to school in like an hour. No, so that was 2 hours. So I was like, I'll be back because I didn't take my laptop with me. So I came back home. I fixed a sandwich. I was going to do a little bit of work. By the time I fixed my sandwich, my husband called. We bought him tires or something. I don't know. And he's like, well, my tires aren't here. So can you come get me? And I'm like, free, but not free, but the other word. So, so I come back home, like in all of that, I still have some writing deadlines of my own. I, I was just like, so I felt stuck yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days where I felt like I had so much going on that writing a book or doing any type of writing just wasn't a possibility, right? Like that's how we get to that point. That's how we get to feeling stuck. The other reason that we get to that stuck feeling is because we don't know. Hey, Tanya, we, this is the main reason. Our perspective is completely skewed from what it should be in order for you to get your book done. So what do I mean by that? Hey, Angela, here's the thing. When you're stuck like that, you're thinking about the situation of writing in the wrong way. You're thinking about it as just something that you need to do. You're thinking about it from the perspective of it's something you want to do. How many times did I say you in that string of sentences or whatever, right? You. You're stuck because you're making it about you. Tanya, you know this look is for you. We'll talk. Why were you stuck? Tell us why you were stuck. so we can talk it through. Tell us why you were stuck. Hey, Roberta, so we can talk it through. So one of the, Tanya is already, so I'm gonna use, since you chimed in, I'm gonna use you as an example, Tanya. Tanya is someone who has worked with me for a little bit, and she knows some tricks and tips and hacks for getting your book done, getting the words out of you onto paper, right? But for those of you who don't have that intel, those resources, the main thing, the primary thing is you. You're the factor that's keeping you stuck. And I'm not saying that to shake my finger at you, but I want to help you see something to shift that. And that is what we want to do instead of the thing that has you stuck. So when you approach getting your book done from the perspective of all of the stuff that involves you, whether it's your busy schedule, whether it's, can I tell this story? What will people think? Whether it's shame, guilt, whether it's what will my family say, or people don't want me to tell this story. I hear that too. That's all about you. And so what we tend to do, even though as human beings we'll say we're selfish, for the most part, we're not. In that we really genuinely think that this is an issue. Like, these are issues that we have made for ourselves. This is why we're stuck. The time factor. I've already addressed that with you guys several times. The time factor being the reason that you're stuck, it doesn't exist. It's a matter of setting time or taking time. The guilt and shame factor, that's internal. That's making it about you. That is not to say that your story doesn't have some challenging situations. That is not to say that you haven't experienced some things that most people haven't. Look, I'm trying to wipe my lipstick. Okay. That's not to say that. But when you're making it about you, the number one thing that you're not doing is making it about the people your story can positively impact and change their lives. Every day you have police officers, you have paramedics. They might have, codes. They might have situations going on in their home lives, but they show up every day that they're assigned with the understanding that they're there to protect and serve, or they're there to help and save lives. That's what you're called to do. You went through the things, you went through the journey, you went through the falling down, and I'm not going to even say scraping your knee. Like, we broke some bones falling. Like, I know my story, and I know some of your story. But sitting with that and focusing on yourself even after that is why you're stuck. Your perspective is off. You're not supposed to write a book for you. You were there. You've learned the lessons. You now know how to maneuver. If that situation comes up again, you can spot it a mile away. You know exactly how to respond to it. You know how to go around it. You know how to prevent it. You know how to eliminate it, all of that. The book is not for you. The book is for the person who is facing the very thing that you have overcome, survived, defeated, right? That's a big word. They are facing the thing that you have defeated, and they don't have your book as an instruction manual of how they can defeat it also. When you think about your book that way, it totally changes the level of urgency to get it done. Because what's my analogy? Look, say it with me. Your book not being done is just like someone's Googling for the answers that you have, and it's like them calling 911 and nobody answered the phone. How traumatic is that? There you are with the answers that will save their life, that will save their marriage, that will help them to strengthen their faith, as opposed to walking away and saying there's, I don't believe that God loves me, or whatever their issue is, right? This is see how tiny shift in your perspective helps you to see the bigger impact, right? Remember in math, I'm about to tell my age. Okay. Remember in math, the greater than, less than, equal to signs? You're on the less than side. The greater impact, the greater picture is the person waiting for your book, the person waiting for your book. And so every time that you say you don't have time to write a book, I want you to take a moment and say, I don't have time to save lives. Like, that hurt me just to say it, and I'm just saying it as an example, right? So can you say that out loud without like feeling gut-wrenching? I can't even put it into words what that feels like to say, I don't have, you know what? I know that you're going through a crisis of faith and you may even be suicidal, but I don't have time to save your life. That's a big deal. Can you say that? Can you keep saying that? When you change the perspective from you, when you go from I don't have time because I'm too busy to just making it about the reader and saying I don't have time to save your life, something happens internally and you say, you know what? This isn't about me. There's tools and resources available so that I can be the lifesaver I was supposed to be. That's a big deal. Tiny perspective change, major impact. I'm going to go to the comments. What do you guys think about that? Are you able to say that? Like, if you said that out loud, tell me what the feeling was that you got when you said out loud, I don't have time to save your life. Tanya, you said I was too focused on the imaginary deadline that I created in my head. Okay, so Tanya, for you, expect an email. You don't have to imagine a deadline anymore. I'm gonna send you one. Okay? Okay, pumpkin. Okay, Roberta, you said I have to set aside some time for myself no matter how tired or late I get home. That's my biggest obstacle right now. I get that. And I appreciate that you said set aside time. That's a major step. I did a live, I think it was last week, y'all keep me honest, where I was talking about you can't make time, because if you can make time, there would be more than 24 hours in a day. So set time or take time. That's a big deal. What I want to encourage you to do, Roberta, is set the time unconventionally. Like, even if it's you journaling on your lunch or you recording something on your phone, because all the phones have recording stuff. Don't ask me about technology. I struggle. But even if it's that on your way home and you talking to the person that you're supposed to save their life, do that. That counts. Okay. Jillian, I think I'm saying that right. You said it makes sense. Angela, wow. I know, right? It's a big deal. And so let's see what else we're saying. Yeah, when you say that, doesn't it hurt? Oh my goodness. Like, I'm gonna need a nap for real after this. I said I was gonna take a nap. I had a call earlier and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. I said, oh no, I gotta go talk to my group. I gotta go talk to my people. But yeah, saying that, it hurt. It hurt. Saying, and I'm gonna say it again, it's probably the last time I say it, saying I don't have time to save your life. Oh my goodness. For my mothers in here, can you imagine your child doing something crazy and they're calling you, mama, help me, and you saying to your child, I don't have time to save your life. Why did I use that analogy? I did a book earlier this year with a group of women about money. And when I took them through the process, one of the things that I told them was, envision someone that you love. Envision having a real conversation with them about money. And the person that I chose was my daughter. My daughter's 20. And I cried when I wrote about money, because I was being real and I was being transparent, and I was trying to break strongholds and curses and just poor habits that have been passed down. And I was telling her about financial trauma. I don't know if that's a real word. It's a phrase I use, but I don't know. It was financial trauma. And the trauma for me was at a very young age, when she was smaller, going to Walmart and getting a couple of things. And when I say a couple of things, I mean a couple of things, and swiping my little debit card and it not going through. That was traumatic for me, because I was trying to provide. It wasn't even like, super like TVs or anything. It was like diapers, milk, those types of things. And that was a moment of financial trauma for me. And relaying that story and how I felt in that moment, and the people behind me were kind of, sneering at me because there I was, a young Black woman with a small child, and my debit card didn't go through. Financial trauma. When I wrote in that book and I put it all out there, how I felt and how I now know how to handle money, and helping people to do a self-check about financial trauma and figuring out how do they shift out of it, what better habits. Like, then I stepped into my superpower. So when I tell you that your message is designed to help people, I'm not just saying that it has to be a physically traumatic situation or something that was spiritual. That conversation about money that I had, because I decided to to take the time to have that conversation in my book, it helps people. It helps people to understand, you know what? I get anxiety. I get anxious when I go to pay bills. I get anxious when I go to buy stuff at stores. That's the beginning of unlearning patterns that haven't helped them to be financially abundant. I'm in my zone. I'm serving. I am making it not about me. Somebody could have been like, girl, you couldn't pay $20. I don't know how much it was. You couldn't pay $20 for your baby diapers. They may have said that, but I'm less concerned about them and how that could potentially make me feel than I am about someone reading my book about financial trauma and deciding to do better, and deciding they now have the tools to live a better life. Right? So let me know if you hear me. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. This is why you're stuck. You're making it about you. It ain't about you, boo. Every time I say that, that's what comes up for me. It ain't about you, boo. It's not. It's about the person on the other end of that book that reads your words and can take that deep breath and say, man, this is exactly how I feel. I didn't think anybody understood how I feel. I didn't think anybody understood how I feel being a single mother. I didn't think anybody understood how I feel being a widow. I didn't think anybody understood how I feel losing my job in corporate, how isolated I feel being an entrepreneur, how much money I invested in systems that didn't work when all I needed to do was trust myself. Think about all of the ways that you can impact someone's life just by showing up when they're Googling, looking for the answer, and you show up the way you're designed to. That's what it's about. You said, I understand, Jillian, you said, I understand. When you put it in that perspective, it changes my approach, and fear is no longer my cop-out, because it's not about you. You're just supposed to show up on the job and save lives. How many lives have you saved today? When you make it about you, the only life you save is yours. When you make it about you, the only life you save is yours. If you're supposed to be on stages speaking to men or women, empowering them, 50 speaking engagements, 50 people in the room, every speaking engagement, how many lives are you saving? Tons. You're showing people a better way, a new way, a different option. You're showing up and saying, you know what? I beat cancer. If I didn't tell you I had cancer, you would never know. Right? You're showing up in your full superpower, giving people hope and giving them tools. Don't forget to tell them about the lessons you learned. That's the main thing, because we don't do tell-alls. We do teach-alls over in this camp. We do teach-alls. Don't forget. I will tell people all day long, I did not have a lot of money, when my kids were smaller. I am proficient in doing hair. I still have people today that call me and say, you think about doing hair? No, I'm retired. No, I'm retired. I did what I had to do. I could encourage and empower people who want to go to school online. Been there, done that. Got a couple of degrees. Can you see through the hair? Got a couple of degrees back there, right? I can talk about that. Don't discount don't make it just about you. You have so much ammunition to kill doubt for other people, to kill shame for other people, to kill hopelessness for other people, to kill fear for other people, to kill feelings of being lost for other people. But you've got to make the shift. See, you're stuck because you're thinking about you. You're making it about you. When you think about the lives that are on the line, it's a total game changer. So tell me, who are you here to save? If you're on live or even if you're doing the replay, drop it in the comments. Who are you here to help save? And the other caveat is it could be multiple people in multiple ways. Think about all the things I just listed out just for me, about me personally, right? My birth mother passed away when I was 8 years old. It was just me and her in the house. She had a heart attack. I share that as I'm led because someone has had to deal with loss. Someone has had to deal with that type of loss. Someone has had a crisis of faith. I can talk about that. I can talk about that. Someone has been in a bad relationship. I can talk about that. I can talk about having family that didn't understand my unique design. Y'all, I do this for a living, right? But how many, can you imagine what my family was like? So let me get this straight. You got all these degrees and you're going to do what? From where now? You're going to leave your good job. You're going to leave your good job to do what now? I can talk about that. I don't have to Google about it. You don't have to Google about your stuff. That brings me right to the second thing that has you stuck. So it's two things. The first thing is you making it about you. And the second thing is you've told yourself you don't know what to write. That's not true. You know exactly what to write. You know exactly what to write because you know you're the go-to in your family for this. You know in your friend circle, you're the go-to in your friend circle for this. You're the go-to in your church for this. For people in here who are entrepreneurs, you got business buddies, you're the go-to for this. You're the go-to for motivation. Your kids' friends love you because you're that mom who listens to them as little adults. You're that person. You're the dad who it's like, you get it. You get it as a dad and you have the best relationship with your kids. What do you think your book's supposed to be about? Okay, I'm not going to do the face. I'm going to bring it back. But those two things, that's why you're stuck. And I use the quotes, the air quotes, because you're not stuck. You just need to shift your perspective. Instead of saying, I don't know what to write, or I don't have time to write and I don't know what to write. You shift to, I'm here to save lives by helping with this. It's just that simple. Simple perspective shift, and it'll unlock some things for you, right? So let me know if you come back on the replay. Like I said, if you're here now, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Who are you here to help? How are you helping them? What's the story you're supposed to share with them? It's not about you. It isn't. And when I was younger, I used to get mad and be like, why I got to go through it? Why I got to go through it then? Well, now that I'm older, I get it. I get it. And that's what I wanted to help you with today. Here's why you're stuck. You're making it about you. And you're discounting the journey that you've had and who you're supposed to help and impact. You know exactly what your book is supposed to be about. You know it. You've known it for a long time. You know it and you've known it for a long time. Period. Not going to let you cop out. Not going to let you cop out. Right? So I'm glad, Angela, you said this has been very helpful. Thank you. I love it. I'm trying to help you guys shift. You're in here for a reason. It's not a mistake that you landed in this group. It's not a mistake. Right? So shift that perspective and go save lives. That's your assignment. That's your assignment, to shift your perspective, stop focusing on you, and get out there and save lives. It's time. These people's lives are hanging in the balance while you try to figure it out. And the very first thing you have to determine and decide for yourself is that it's not about me. I got to get on my job. So I will let you guys go. But yeah, I'll be looking for your comments. Let me know who you're here to help. As a matter of fact, if you feel so led, share it in the group. Go live. It's okay. It's a safe space. No judgment zone. I'm not with it. And I police. I wish somebody would. Don't make me clap. I wish someone would come for you in your video. I want you to go live. Go live. It's a safe space. Tell us what your story is and who you are here to help. All right, guys. So do your homework, and I will be looking out for your videos in the group. Talk to you guys later.